Now we are going to move on to watch Extermination versus Rising Moon. I'm not sure if this match has happened so far in the tournament.
No, it has not. No, they of course did not play each other in pools, and they were on the opposite sides of the bracket of top 8. So this will be the first time that we have seen this matchup in this tournament.
Gotcha. So Team Olive, on the other hand, has defeated both Rising Moon and Extermination. Now, the Extermination set was very close. The Rising Moon set was not close. So, depending on who comes out on top, based on the numbers that we have so far, Extermination is the likely best candidate to take on Team Olive waiting grand finals. That just based on previous results, they are the team that if we want to see us take it to a bracket reset, Extermination is the team that we would want to win. However, Rising Moon has a lot of momentum going on right now, 3-0ing Deadbeat, and so if they are able to again get another 3-0 against Extermination and just come barreling into grand finals with a ton of momentum versus the Team Olive that just kind of is sitting there waiting, that is going to be very strong for them. So we'll see what ends up happening here. I think that the tone of this next set is going to be very important in dictating what we can expect going to grand finals.
I would absolutely agree. Extermination coming off what has to be a pretty heartbreaking, nail-biting loss versus Rising Moon, who's playing some of the best that I've ever seen them play here. It's going to be up to Extermination to kind of stifle things early, kind of put out the fire, if you will, that Rising Moon lit for themselves there. And yeah, I agree. If this is a very close, hard-fought set, I'm not sure that it'll go well against Olive. I think whoever takes this, if they want a chance to reset the bracket, needs a very strong, convincing win to build themselves up in order to go up against the force that has been Olive in this set. And this is the first time that we have seen Moray Towers Rainmaker today.
Yeah,
so, that's been a topic of discussion.
Yeah, of course we did get a nice highlight. Shout outs to Kotaku for highlighting that Rainmaker dunk from yesterday. A team taking advantage of the new Rainmaker mechanics to paint the walls more easily and use that to kind of slip around the outside of the tower on Moray Towers up to the Rainmaker and dunk it on some unsuspecting victims. These are some higher level teams, so they of course already know about strategies like that. So we will be able to see some new stuff. Now, Rainmaker on Moray Towers is different than it was in Splatoon 1. In Splatoon 1, the best way to take the Rainmaker pretty much 99% of the time, but I mean like 90% of the time, was to take it left. Because if you took it left and you got the Rainmaker up on those grates that were kind of hanging off the side of the overlooked part of the map, those grates would give you a ton of points. And because of the way ties work in Splatoon, if you got the Rainmaker up to those critical points on those grates, it was hard to move the Rainmaker past them. And if the enemy team did the same, they would lose the tie because you got there first. And if the enemy team took the Rainmaker right, it was difficult to get as many points. So by the time you were able to actually beat that score of, I think it was like 43 or something like that, you were more than likely going to, you were more than likely going to get the Rainmaker stop before that anyway. However, in Splatoon 2, the point values of those two sides of the map have been slightly equaled out, and then we also see the zip lines on both sides of the map, especially on the right side of the map, and the ability to paint the walls with the Rainmaker a little bit more easily, make it so that you can get quick pushes if you go right as well, with that net some good points. So it's a toss-up now. I don't think teams understand really where the best way to take the Rainmaker is. I think that a pretty decent job has been done of making sure that left, right, and even middle of the map, because the middle of the map is near some of those zip lines, are all viable options. So I'm interested to see how teams decide to push the Rainmaker. If this just so happens to not be one of those games that just ends in the low-scoring tie where the Rainmaker never gets moved from the center of the map, which is totally a possibility on Moray Rainmaker. For the record, if teams do get the push, I'm interested to see how they push the Rainmaker, how they take advantage of the new map design, new mechanics, or if they take it the old way and go with the tried and true strategy that they more understand.
Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to seeing which team. Both of these teams, these last couple sets, have shown a more aggressive side. Rising Moon, of course, not necessarily known for it to the same level that Extermination is, but they certainly showed they can play it. I'm interested in seeing which team overextends, especially on this first map on Rainmaker, because what's going to happen at least once. Everyone slips up once. I'm interested in seeing which team opts to go for that very quick, hard push, and I'm interested in seeing which one ends up getting the better of it, because especially on I see Starfish Main Stage next. We've talked about Starfish Main Stage and how it can be one of those maps where it's not the easiest to get back in. I think that the tone of that very, very first 20 or 30 seconds of each game, if one team does opt to go in a little bit harder, could be very telling over the course of the entire set.
Yeah, isn't that kind of funny how, most of the changes from Splatoon 1 to Splatoon 2 have kind of gravitated around stuff that's not opening game stuff, right? Like the removal of quick response stealth jump, related invincibility specials work, et cetera, et cetera. All that stuff's kind of different now, yet we see players kind of being shakier at the starts of games, more so than the middle of games. It's kind of funny how you would expect players to be really comfortable at the start of the game, because at the start of the game is when those kinds of gosh, they're hitting the A button. I have the ready up now. All right. You would expect the beginning of games to be much more stable and very slowly turn into advantages, but it's actually been the opposite. I don't know if that's because players are used to having quick response stealth jump at the beginning of their games, that if they go for something risky and it doesn't work out, they can just get back in right away, or what. But we've been seeing these kind of far swinging opening pushes from teams, so let's see how that happens here. Interesting to see Firefin Splat Charger on the side of Rising Moon here, so not maybe very confident in the E-Leader. The E-Leader actually has some pretty cool tricks on this map. Inkstorm in particular can be launched from lower parts of the map, and the cloud will travel through the air and wind up at one of the higher parts of the map, causing for some really nice Rainmaker.
There's the aggression, that's 3 down.
Yeah, that is right away, swimming up the incline, getting those kills. Saval going to go here and paint the left side of the map. I believe that the Rainmaker is pushing right. It is. So Saval flanking while the Rainmaker takes these zip lines far up into the enemy base to 14 right at the start.
Well, all right. That's what I was looking for, and I guess they heard me. That was amazing. Shoutouts to all 800-plus viewers that we have right now. Share the stream if you can. A great set going on right now. Saval going to wisely run away to say, hey, you know what? I've done my duty here, done my dirty. I believe yes, that is Kagu that's going to get the kill right here. Rainmaker going to reset, but now the gargantuan task falls on them. They've got to find a way to get back to mid, and now I'm starting to see why that Firefin Charger was happening. That's not played to beat the enemy sniper. That's played to beat everyone else.
Yeah, no, very true that Firefin being used well. Wall here going to stop Augusto from being able to move up. He does, however, find a way into the enemies, but is taken out swiftly by Urza, not being tricked by those wall climbs like we talked about. Experienced players are going to know about those positional advantages by climbing the wall and be ready to deal with it. As I believe that was just a clean 3-shot kill from Urza, as Urza unfortunately gets taken out by Majin. Just been playing immaculately with this Rapid Blaster, and not just in tournament. Like I've fought him in solo queue a bunch of times. He is just dominating everything. Just a very confident man wielding that Rapid Blaster. Going to go here and pick up the Rainmaker, take it to the right. His teammates are pushed up. One member of EXT does go down though, so Majin might be in for a little bit of pressure here as he pushes the Rainmaker up to avoid the enemy player, waiting for the zipline to be changed colors before he moves up, I believe, but his teammates don't happen to be changing it. They do, and he pushes the Rainmaker up to 30 points, maybe to a little bit further than that, being pressured by Big Two. The gets the kill, gets the read, waiting for this zipline to change colors. Of course, the zipline mechanic taking a while to change colors is going to hold his advantage, but there's going to be a lead. No!
Wow! Andy, wow, all right. Firefin Splatter Scope doing a great job. That's still not out of the woods yet. Gets the kill on Banana, gets the kill on Echo. Let's go, Andy. Almost single-handedly ending that right there, resetting the Rainmaker. Take a deep breath. The pressure is off for right now. But that was so close. I was actually very initially worried that Majin was taking that thing too far by himself, but I guess the rest of the team was putting just enough pressure on. But Andy, wow. And oh my goodness gracious. Going to throw some bombs here. Shut down this, what could come from the left there, from that ink rail. And his hands have to be shaking right now.
Oh man, well, like we talked about, those positional advantages you can get from climbing up the walls on this map do come in handy. And unfortunately for Andy, he was taken out by a blaster that was doing such that. So, as soon as you stop watching your flanks, you're going to get attacked. This is high-level Splatoon we're talking about here. No one's going to give you any free passes. Right now, though, it is a 16-14 game. So in order for Rising Moon, I'm sorry, in order for Extermination to win this match, they're going to have to almost dunk the Rainmaker, as it seems like they're gearing up to do so. Bombs going down. Rainmaker gets taken out by a very aggressive Urza, as another member of Rising Moon gets taken out, and a third in the center of the map. So this is just putting a complete damper on EXT's ability to push up. Rising Moon just getting some map control now, as EXT has to start again from the beginning to try to get a Rainmaker push going that has to pretty much go to the end of the line with only about a minute left in the game.
Yeah, and I think I would love to go and test this out right now. I'm not sure exactly how far 14 is on that ink rail. They might have to, if they do opt to go for that ink rail again, they might have to actually jump off of it, which is, of course, a much more difficult task than just riding it. But right now, they're having a very difficult time getting in. You see Sabao going up, down there, up top. Banana trying to find a way up to the top. Majin not really in a position to go directly up here, though. He's going to try to go through sneaky here. Erza up here waiting, knows he's there. Erza going to be able to get the kill and shut that down. Banana is going to come up for the assist. There's a lot of yellow ink up on that spawn, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. They are going to try to go this way, and where is Andy? That's the question right now. Is Andy in a position to make things stop? I think that Binks is going to be able to get the kill right here. No, he's not, and somehow staying on is Banana. 20 seconds left. This is getting very, very close.
Yeah, the EXT is pushing the Rainmaker. They are going for the gold right now. Not able to quite make it as they are stopped again right before victory. Only one member alive as Echo is taken out by a close-range weapon. That E-Leader, you know, it can tap shot people, but not able to take out Urza. Urza has been on point with his ability to get those kills at close range. A lot of those really clean 3 shots, and that's going to be game 1 Rising Moon.
And if you're Rising Moon, like take a deep breath, wipe the sweat away. That was twice there that they were just inches away from losing that game. And if you're Extermination, you have to say, how many games are we going to lose like this? I mean, right there, say about having just enough range to get the kill before the Rainmaker could get up that wall. And I believe that the Rainmaker was really the last one up in that situation. Kind of had to go for that desperation push that we saw earlier. And goodness, amazing plays by Andy that we talked about earlier. And it seemed like everyone pitched in right there at the end. Very great game to start out this Losers Finals. And now we move on to Starfish main stage, Splat Zones.
Yeah, that's got to sting, man. It's really got to sting when you get 2 of those almost game-winning pushes and lose by 2 points. I mean, they didn't quite get it to 16 the second time, but if he had gotten up and over that wall, it would have been instant points. And I'm not exactly sure how the new thresholds work on Moray Towers. Of course, like we talked about, the Rainmaker thresholds have been changed across the board. So I'm not exactly sure how they work in Splatoon 2, but it felt close. And EXT, I know that a lot of them are young. A lot of them have a lot of fire in them, but also a lot of them can get a little angry sometimes. So hopefully they were able to take that as a sign that they were able to push more times than Rising Moon, meaning that, oh yeah, we totally have this in us to win the set, and they don't get tilted. Another one of these kind of unorthodox comps from EXT. This is the one I didn't like that much, though. The double blaster charger on a map that's not something like Moray is a little bit concerning. We do, however, have 2 bomb rushes and a baller on the side of EXT, which can very well contribute towards getting back map control that's been lost. In addition to Banana playing that NZAP going for those armors, something very typical of Zinni players from Splatoon 1. But how Rising Moon takes the lead at the start. A very strange neutral situation, though, as they do lose a member and immediately lose the zone to EXT.
And now Majin probably going to hang, of course, going to go where he's needed, but it would not surprise me to see Majin stick on these sides here, knowing exactly like you said earlier that flanks can come. And here's Erza. Erza has been flanking this entire time, doing a great job of taking him down, both Majin and Andy teaming up together. And now that Bomb Rush is here, I think both Bomb Rushes are ready. So if they do feel like they are close to losing the zone, they will be able to take it back very quickly, or at least control it. I believe that's Kagu up there at the top, going to be able to take out anyone who comes left. And right now, Majin's just kind of rotating back and forth. They're spotting out the players, and this is a very, very commanding position that they're holding at the moment.
Yeah, Majin and Echo kind of holding the back line, putting lots of hitboxes in lots of places, and they both have Bomb Rush at the ready. A very interesting strategy, kind of feels a little bit like early Splatoon 1, where hitboxes were sometimes more important for getting map control than paint itself. Of course, that's not how it worked out in the long term, but it's working out right now for EXT, as they are able to just take the zone all the way down after getting control once. A little typical of Starfish main stage zones. Again, this is a bit of a slippery slope map, but EXT knowing exactly what they're doing, doing, putting their anchors at top mid, having bomb rushes ready, having their aggressive players move up, get the kills, keep the pressure up, and just make sure that this map lives up to its name as being slippery slope when they have control. Ousting Rising Moon out of the control of the zone within the first like 10 seconds of them having points, and then taking the lead.
Yeah, and I want to, give shout-outs to Kagu there. Kagu was flanking right behind. If you saw there, Rising Moon put kind of all of their eggs in one basket there at the very end, sending 2 down from that top left position. But Kagu was right behind and ended up taking out the Inkjet. I believe it was Erza, before Erza could even get a kill. So great job. That was really kind of Rising Moon's effort to, create an advantage for themselves, and they sniffed that one out really quick. I'm not sure that it would have gotten them a whole lot anyway, but still, it just kind of shows that Extermination was ready for anything, and a very convincing win. But now we move on to Inkblot Art Academy Tower Control, and this is another one that I think people are still trying to figure out because of all the sloshers that we've been seeing right now. That first checkpoint can actually be a little bit more difficult to get past than I think a lot of other first checkpoints can be. Yeah, no,
this map, like we talked about, the different transformations of this map are not very they're not very vibrant, they're not very impactful seeming on the surface, but the way that they force players to play the map changes a lot. Now, unlike Rainmaker, like we saw yesterday, where the Rainmaker had to be pushed along the left side of the map, the tower has to push left. However, there is a little shortcut in the middle of the map that allows people to flank right, so that's going to make a big difference, especially considering the way that these teams have been playing. Very aggressive, lots of flanks going on. At the start of the match, there are some traded kills going on in the center of the map, and actually, no, I am wrong. Majin gets a double, and just actually, I think it's a triple there, as it immediately lets EXT push the tower into the other side of the map. Now, Kaguso does go down, a sniper does go down, and it seems like the tower might stop pushing in a little bit here as EXT does keep up the pressure. Echo here riding tower, able to push, put some hitboxes out into the enemy side of the map. Ride tower here. If he doesn't get sniped by the opposing sniper, this will be really good for him, but no, he does get sniped.
And that is going to be 3 down. Kagu going to be up there making as much havoc as he can, but a very solid defense there by Rising Moon. They were able to get it past that first and get a little bit of that second checkpoint down. Erza going pretty deep here because he knows that he has the Sync Jet. Let's see what he's able to do. Gets sniped, I believe. A great shot by Echo. I think he'd already gotten 1 or 2 burst shots. Another great shot by Echo. Snipers coming out this set, and they are able to get past that first checkpoint, but it looks like that might be about the end, as the tower looks like it's going to return to the middle, at least for now. A little bit of sniper jockeying here, and both teams have kind of given a little bit right now, but the Blasters really showing their strength here in tower control, as they always have, to be fair.
Yeah, no, the Blasters, despite any nerfs that might have come along their way in Splatoon 2, they're still very good on tower control. EXT able to defend this push pretty abruptly, as they do take out some members of Rising Moon, send them back to the spawn. Augusto, if we can see a little bit to the right of your screen, is hanging out by that shortcut we talked about earlier, just kind of sharking. I'm sure that as soon as his team pushes up, he will put himself in position on the enemy plat. But in order, his team is kind of taken out. Erza with a nice little flank there, puts some dents in the numbers of EXT, sending them back to the spawn. And now Rising Moon is the team with a nice clear tower path to get some points on the board. Erza jumping in, armor going down, Rising Moon pushing really hard. 2v2 situation now, a scramble at the tower control checkpoint. This is seen, looks like EXT is going to clean that up. A very scary moment for a second there. Ends up going EXT's favor, but they do not yet have map control. Rising Moon members getting to the middle of the map faster than EXT members are, as it looks like Rising Moon is going to gear up for another push.
Yeah, they're going to get another chance here, and Majin did a great job of moving that down, but it looks like Binks had an opportunity to get back on the tower, just barely missed it from that scenario, but again, with the respawning, I'm not at all, surprised, can't blame him. Once again, Kagu going to do what Kagu does and just come in here relentlessly, not going to get any kills in that scenario, so kind of a miss, but, it's really not a huge deal because his team does have some control. Okay, now a second one goes down. I believe that was Banana. Now a push can start. A third. Okay, this may end up becoming something here. I do think
being out.
Yep. No. Okay. The bomb rush, very well timed bomb rush. I don't think that's going to be enough, but the second one is going to be enough. And unfortunately for Rising Moon, that's another 3 down, and that's a wipe. And just not able to create the advantages for themselves that we saw them create last set in this tower control. But credit to EXT. This unconventional comp that we've been talking about all day is getting it done.
Yeah, you know, the EXT I think has switched team comps more than any other team in this tournament from what I've been able to witness casting and viewing these games. It's just that they have a pretty good understanding of what they want to do, how they want to do it, and why they want to do it. And the fact that they're switching up team comps so much shows understanding more than anything else. However, Urza shows that bullets to the face hurt as he takes out 2 members of EXT. Rising Moon gets a push started. Urza's going to go ahead and use that exit to get 1 spawn kill. Is he going to push up and get more? Pressuring the sniper. He's about to recall back. Where will he recall to? Right here, as the sniper unfortunately does not get the revenge kill on that Ingzuka and gets taken out. Urza going to stay alive a little bit longer, avoid these bombs, try to just make sure that this objective goes in his favor right now as Urza gets the ink armor but dies on the tower immediately.
That was so unfortunate. They had a wall. They had a wall on the tower, and something that I don't think I've called out all in Splatoon 2. The bomb there from Kagu got one and knocked another one off the tower. Those little tiny plays. Bink's going to gear up again here, but he's by himself. Binks has to wait. Going to give his team a jump. I don't know if it's the safest jump, but they have to. With just 20 seconds left here, they're going to get one more chance, try to get a little bit of ink going here, build up this ink armor. There is still time for them, but they have to be able to get some kills right here. And unfortunately, 2 of them already down, and those were their 2 shooters. Bink's going to have to make something happen here, but I don't know how they're going to move the sniper. Kagu and Majin both in position. Ink armor going down, but they don't even have anybody in the tower at the moment. And that's going to be how the story goes.
Yep, so game 3, coming down to it again. These have been some pretty close matches. That you've been looking at the scores of a lot of these games, and aside from the crazy knockouts that we've been seeing, maybe about 1%, they've been very close in score. Both teams being able to push it to similar points, within like 2 of each other most of the time. As these games are very close, so all these teams obviously play against each other a lot in Splatoon 1, know how each other play, and are pretty much on equal footing when it comes to a lot of situations. So 2-1 Extermination, another close game as we move to Humpback Pump Track Rainmaker. Last time we saw this game, it was crazy. A lot of back and forth, and I forget exactly which team ended up winning when we were watching. But EXT, I believe it was EXT. EXT was able to win a set that had a ton of back and forth, and I expect that back and forth to happen again, especially with the way Rainmaker is constructed on this map. We were talking earlier about how tower control is kind of by design a fast game mode on this map with only 2 checkpoints, which is very unique for tower control in Splatoon 2. Rainmaker, on the other hand, has zip lines in the base where if the enemy takes the Rainmaker and gets it to your side of the map, you can use the zip line to take a very fast alternate path into the left side of the map, which is going to be the enemy's right side. So as you can kind of see these, maybe Urza will do it now. At the beginning of the game, he'll kind of jump over. No, trust me, it can happen. You can use those zip lines to kind of jump into the enemy side of the map if you know how to do it, which kind of balances out the large size of this map, which takes what you would expect to be a very large and slow map into a very fast-paced, plethora of options.
Mm-hmm. And, again, the double blaster comp coming out here, and it's a very threatening comp on here because of what you're about to see here. Kagu can actually just kind of poke up there as he swims to, I think, about 50 bombs. But blasters of all shapes and sizes can shoot up there and get that one little spot there that you see Andy sitting at right now. Makes it very difficult for people to hang up there. But now that's 2 down here. I don't know that Echo's going to be able to... There's some skillful wall play going on there.
That was nice avoidance there. The Rainmaker being taken out there would be definitely a bummer for any kind of momentum that Rising Moon was about to have. However, Rising Moon is being pressured. The Rainmaker is being pressured from 2 different angles right now. A baller does come out of the Luna, but it's forced to be used early, which is nice for the Rainmaker, but the other team's getting a lot of points. EXT ends up killing the Rainmaker after all that. Ends up being a trade. 2v2 situation looking like in the middle of the map as some more kills go down, and it seems that EXT is going to come out on top of all these trades back and forth at the beginning of the map. Kaguso actually takes that and gets 2 more kills off to the right you see there as Echo gets his ink armor ready, sets up his team for pressure. This member of Rising Moon knows that he's out of position. The Rainmaker's pushing on the other side of the map. He's going to have to jump back. Everyone pushing forward. The Rainmaker getting taken out at the 40-point mark right now. It is a 2v4 situation for EXT, so they're probably going to have to stop pushing. But no, Echo just is going to be stubborn, going to go for these kills, going to get taken out there, get revenge killed by many. And there, what we talked about, see how the Rainmaker took the zip line, take it over the other side of the map.
And this is a lot of points right here.
Yep.
Wow. And just like that, it seemed like they were in such a great position. But I think going down there, Echo going down there was actually really difficult and maybe not the best option there, being the last one left. Maybe not knowing that that's such a strong position to go from here, but it does look like they're going to be able to stop whatever push was there. But a 20-point that is very hard to get from the right side because, again, it's a much longer route than that right side or left side that you were talking about here. So it looks like now they might try going left themselves. Echo's going to go opposite of the Rainmaker. Maybe try to get a little flank going. No, it does look like the Rainmaker's coming back this way. Majin's here. They're in. That's 3 down.
Watch the yellow paint.
Oh, no.
Wow, so close, so close. That left side push that happened earlier was actually more potent for points than we might have expected. 23-20 score right now, 2 minutes left in the game. Both teams showing the ability to push hard and push effectively. We'll see what happens. I expect there to maybe be 2 or 3 more significant pushes by the end of this game based on how things have been going so far. We see Binks here with the Rainmaker trying to stay alive, being pressured by blasters around different angles of geometry, which we all know is a very advantageous position for a blaster to be in. So he's going to go ahead and back up, start to get the help of his teammates. 4v3 situation here. Rising Moon slowly pushing
forward. Here it
forward.
comes. You said it. You said it. It can happen. There you go. There's the flank aided by the rails. And that's going to give Kagu just enough time to spawn there. Is able to trade with, I think, the last one there. Now Echo's just going to wait here, try to shark out a little bit. Airs is going to be able to get Majin down there on the left, and that's actually really big. I don't know where Airs is going to recall to, but he is able to escape there. Now Echo finally goes. Tri-slosher battle, going to go down there. Airza back there to get the assist. And right now, Seibao really kind of has to back up a little bit. I don't know if he knows that 2 of them are there. He's not going to be able to push this by himself. He's got to be really careful.
Yeah, no, he has to wait for his teammates to show up. Wisely using the Rainmaker splash damage to pressure opponents. Gets an assist on the skill in front of him. Grenades are going off at his feet, and he is going to be taken out. Now, it is a 3v2 situation for Rising Moon against EXT in this little engagement here as players start to respawn, which is really good for Rising Moon because the Rainmaker is on EXT's side of the field. It is not in position to push well. It is on EXT's left side of the map, and it is not near the zip line, which means that the Rainmaker is going to have to move all the way over to the right in order to push forward more. But with only 30 seconds left in the game, I believe that EXT seems to be geared up to just let the Rainmaker reset, I suppose, and take the momentum that they're getting in the middle of the map to take that Rainmaker over there. But this Rainmaker hasn't quite reset yet.
Has it even been popped?
Oh, it has.
The Rainmaker has been popped.
Reset, so that might have just been a little bit of ignoring of the objective. Unfortunate for EXT. Banana going to pick up the objective, get taken up by Seibao. Seibao has been really on point with knowing how he has to use the Junior, of course. Compared to other weapons like Enzap, Tenatech, the Junior is not as good at mid-range combat, so he's going to have the Shark with it. Shark's to effectiveness as he is able to, with his team, take this game forward.
Yeah, and it really seemed like EXT had the advantage there for the vast majority of the game. But you talked about it right there. That left side can be so devastating. It was just that one slight misplay that really kind of opened things up right there. You see Seibao again, like you said, 17 KA there, 6 ink armors, an absolute master of his weapon right here in the early days of Splatoon 1. And we're going to move on to a Game 5 right here. Sturgeon Shipyard Splat Zones. This is one that we've seen. Do not be surprised if both snipers make an appearance here. And I don't know. We saw some, if I'm not mistaken, this was a 100-0 the last time that we saw it. This was, I believe it was when Deadbeat was playing, but it was a very, very convincing win. So this is a map that it's, you know, if you get locked out, there is potential for it to run, you know, things to turn bad in a hurry. And I don't know. We'll see where it goes.
I think that in the other 2 game types that aren't splat zones, this map mode in particular is pretty solid when it comes to being able to push back to the center of the map. However, in splat zones, it's a little bit different because the map is so big that it takes a long time to get to zones. So while you do have solid options for getting back to the middle of the map, if they happen to not work out, you put yourself back a huge deficit time-wise, which is why the map might be a little bit more might lend itself towards knockouts a little bit more than normal. We do get started here in this Game 5. Very exciting Game 5. We've had some awesome sets go into Game 5 in this tournament as we get started here with the Sturgeon Shipyard Splat Zones.
Erza already going for that flank there that we saw him get earlier, but unfortunately, I don't think that's going to matter. 3 down now on the part. That is 4, and Majin, I believe, took out 2 of those. A full wipe here at the start, and, you know, let's hope that it isn't what we just said that it might be. Majin going to reposition himself here, wait and see if anyone comes down here. Very wisely placing that ink mine. They do have that echolocator effect now. He sees that they're going to be mounting some pressure here from the left. Majin kind of out of position now. What I thought was a pretty good positioning of himself. Actually going to give up really the strong control they had. And now Majin is by himself. And we'll see what he's able to do with it. But kind of a missed opportunity there, honestly.
Yeah, he's strangely in position now on the enemy side of the map that's good for approaching. Receives an ink armor, gets pressured a little bit here by Banks, but this team shot here is going to take him out, gets the assist, has the bomb rush at the ready. They may lose the lead here, but if they get control afterwards, they can convert that to victory. They do lose the lead. They do take control, so they are, not convert the victory, but convert to a second lead as Majin is able to do his thing and anchor over here. He's going to check the left side of the map, place down some ink mines that'll help him know if enemies are coming. Of course, the ink mines have been changed for Splatoon 1 to not one-shot kill, but instead mark enemies and do some chip damage. They do take the lead. EXT puts those points on the board as they need. They have the control they need. A 4v2 situation. Rising Moon having some difficulty, although a member of EXT does go down, so depending on what happens next, they may be able to get some more kills. But no, Majin is going to be able to take out that Luna from the other team and just start whatever that weapon was, and start converting more points.
And I want to throw out Echo there. Got an amazing shot on Erza after Erza had used that inkjet. I think that Erza might have had a double staring him in the face, but he got taken out by that. And just like that, we said this is a very swingy map. What a great job there by Extermination, stifling what were 2 pretty heart-wrenching losses against Rising Moon. And they got it done there. Great job. They're going to get their chance back at Team Olive. And really coming from contributors from all over. I know Banana's sitting up there with the 10KA, but everyone had key plays that time, that entire set. Great job, and what a great losers finals this has been. Winners finals goes to game 5. Losers finals goes to game 5. I don't think we can really ask for much more out of this tournament.
So
I mean, we can, but so far.
Yeah, no, I'm very happy with how these games have been going. A lot of game 5s, a lot of tense moments. Before we move into grand finals, I do want to real quick just kind of fire the cannons for some of the teams that haven't made it this far. Tying for 8th place, we have Tomo and Cream Fresh. We also have Fool's World and Spanish Army tying for 6th place down in the losers bracket. So we have, 2 American teams, a Spanish team, and a German team down in the bottom 4 of top 8. In the top 4 of top 8, we have in 4th place Deadbeat, the American team. Then we have in 3rd place Rising Moon, the French team. And now leading into grand finals, we have Extermination, the German team. And then we also have Team Olive waiting grand finals, which is kind of a mixed European team.
I was going to say, they've got a lot of countries represented. They've got, of course, the UK with Dude. They've got Finland with Sendout. They've got Fuzzy with North America. Soren is French, right?
Soren is German, French. Yeah, Koopa Clan, French.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, that's, wow. That's a lot of representation here. And if you're not familiar with Splatoon, if you're a first-time viewer, when we say the Western scene, we're pretty much referring to everything that isn't Japan. North America has some very strong teams. A lot of different countries in Europe, very, very strong teams. Yeah. And you're seeing that here with the representation.